Aldrich Pass! We're in the losers bracket still. We have the Underdog Cup with another best of 3 series. Frische Fische going up against Big Click Energy. And it's already kind of funny to me. So the blue team came in and they were asked, hey, is everybody ready? Can we start? And then I said like, we need a moment. Smokey, he's not here. And then he wrote, Smokey is the guy that was late last time and then started to play Murky. I don't know what exactly happened in the last series, but I just remember that we had also an anecdote about him there. I think he had to pause the game at some point because he got some delivery or whatever. And he immediately like typed in chat like, it's okay, I'm here, I can pick a hero. And his team was like, oh boy. And I just thought to myself, typical Murky player right there. Maybe we're gonna get Murky again. I mean, who knows? So, yeah, we're in the losers bracket. We are nearing the grand final. We have only a couple of matches left before we're going into the big one. Aldrich Pass is our first map in the best of 3 at hand. Draft rule, as usual. Only one single... every hero can only be played one time. Jojo getting banned out, and well, as we are in Aldrich Pass, this is a big map. We could get some globals again. Now, this is obviously all organized by myself and Heroes Lounge, so it's a tournament hosted in cooperation. We're focusing on the lower end of the skill spectrum here, with Division 4 and Division 5, which usually has players around like gold, plat. You have the occasional bronzy in here as well, and silver players too. So it's a wild mix that is kind of fun, especially if you contrast it with the normal top end that we're looking at with typical tournaments, and will with the next ones too. But this also highlights, you know, the amateur scene a little bit more, and it's kind of nice. First pick into Vala. Okay. We've seen lots of multi-shot builds in this tournament, not only on maps like Infernal Shrines. So when players are not too confident that they can get away with an auto-attack style without dying too much. That's what we sometimes get. Stukov and Li Ming. We might get towards a Varian ban here. At least if I'm on the red team, my spider senses would be tingling a little bit. Now, you don't necessarily need Varian for that. He can be a huge asset if you're trying to go for a sniper comp. Muradin fits the bill quite nicely too, though. So, we'll see. Yeah, Varian gets taken away. Okay, so Varian gets taken away and we get Brightwing. There's a couple of other heroes outside of Muradin alone that could also fit. For example, we could see a Nubarak that helps you to dive underneath forts now with the change target priority. You can also attempt to sneak the objective in. That might actually be still something that you can get away with on this level of play. If you're trying that on the top level, then usually a Nubarak gets shadowed pretty reliably, since everybody knows that he can sneak the objective. But you could technically try and make that play here. Obviously, that would necessitate that you have somebody that can play Nubarak and he doesn't get banned. But yeah, here's the Nubarak ban. I'm still eyeing Smokey. If anybody is going for a crazy pick, it's going to be him. We get Greymane and Muradin. Yeah. With Li Ming, Greymane, and Stukov, it's pretty clear what you're trying to do. Pedro and Muradin. I'm just asking myself if we get a Murky pick here. If you go Murky and you go now into Octograb, you are essentially guaranteed a kill every single ults that you have available. You should. You have the damage if you coordinate it, okay. But I don't know if they're really going full Murky on this one. They played Murky the last time. I don't know if that's the best choice here. And, well, they kind of agree. It's a little bit sad, but yes, we get Sonya instead. So Muradin, Sonya at the front makes a little bit more sense than the Merc Master, even though I would have loved him here just for the memes. And then over on the other side, we got the Haka. So, ladies and gentlemen, game number 1. We're going to Aldrich Pass. We got Fischer's Fritz going up against Big Click Energy. The blue team on the left with Mixin on Stukov, heading straight into the low blow. We got Smokey on Sonya, Pedro on Muradin, Jolly Fella on Greymane, and Please Don't Kill Me on Li Ming. As over on the right side in red, Big Click Energy is starting up. We got Oblivion on Brightwing, Fireborn on Varian. We have indeed a Creed of the Hunter play from Lekahapje on Vala, Yifok on Dehaka, and Midna on Chromie. Now, once again, the little explanation. If you are going into an auto attack style with Vala, but you have no double support, no triple front line, then you're essentially saying, I'm okay with dying a couple of times. I'm trying not to, but if I die and lose some of the Gambit stacks, it's not a big deal because we have more than one damage dealer. And to be fair, if you're not getting fully farmed on Vala and just maintain a little bit of that auto attack speed, you're going to be fine. And then obviously on top of that, you just want to get the stacks together. And even a well-stacked Vala without the auto attack speed advantage is going to get lots of damage out. And since they have Chromie to her side, that is going to be something that's going to be pretty nice. But yeah, so with that now said and done, we got Muradin jumping straight up to the top. Still a bit of a weird one, I guess, but Greymane is busy right now, together with Stukov. The man with the big arm is helping out here with one blow after another. And the red team is late to their camp. So when it comes to just timing on camps, the blue team is already a bit in the lead and might be able to leverage that later on in the game. Ooh, drag against Sonya. Alright. I don't know the guy, but I have to admit that in my head, Smokey is currently playing with one hand on his mouse and is smoking at the same time at his PC and is just playing with one hand. Like, oh boy, back in the Warcraft 3 days, we went to a couple of tournaments and we had two Greek players. And they were, like, again, this was competitive times, right? So we went to an offline final of a tournament, of a league. And we had Greek players that were flown in by the teams back then. It's nearly 20 years ago. And so we were at the event, and you still could smoke indoors in some areas. And we had two Greek players that were just smoking while they were playing their one-on-ones. One cigarette after another. It was just crazy. They were playing half the game with one hand. And whenever there was a big team fight, then all of a sudden, you know, they were just like trying to not lose the cigarette from their mouth while playing with two hands. It was just, it was amazing. I've never seen anything like it. Obviously, that wasn't a thing that you know of them when they played online. They just put the results in. But it was wild. Crazy days. Well, over here in Heroes, long time later, we now have a Varian with his taunt. I think Panic and Vassano were the names of the guys. Like, mega old school. If you have somebody from the good old days still remembering the mouse sports players, then yeah, I think it was Panic and Vassano. So long ago, I haven't really thought about this in ages. Navala is currently at 15 stacks, with Chromie coming in with the bronze talents, going full into Sandblast with this. And again, the camp is a little bit faster here, and you can see that the blue team is getting value out of this. So they're coming in, taking the wall down, and they're leveraging the camp while the opponent is just now barely taking their own. So this is already an entire wall destroyed and might even translate into damage on the fort itself. Not a lot of opportunities yet for Fireborn to tee up Chromie and get that taunt in, but with them having just that small advantage on timing, they're starting to come in for another attack over on the objective, or at least they were trying to grab it. So a little bit of objective pressure. Sonya is also moving towards the middle and trying to help out there. Lots of aggression coming in right now from the teams as they are trying to go for the first objective of the game. The red team, after successfully defending, is now making moves on their own. Level 7 talents kicking in on both, which gives us also for Stukov the growing infestation. Jump from Muradin. Both looking for targets as Vala also gets Hot Pursuit. So Vala with Hot Pursuit over here. Brightwing in the meantime went for the critical mist. Yep, and seems like the red team is actually getting a bit ahead here, and they might even get the whole thing now that Greymane is dead. Greymane gets deleted. All of a sudden, it's a 4 versus 5, and that kind of changes everything here. So this is where it will get dangerous for Fischer's Fritz. Now they might have a bit of a problem. Varian is the one that maintains this for now. Vala's coming in again, helping him out. And they're getting objective number 1. First objective goes to Big Click Energy. They made the big click and it worked. So, good for them. They have a chance to take some of the structures out here. And, well, let's see how the defense is going to be set up by the blue team. Currently, they have everybody at the top lane dealing with the 4-man. Vala still alive, gets a couple more auto attacks in against Pedro, and Muradin is gone. Yeah, Greymane came back, Muradin died, and this is not really great for the defense on the objective. So now we have the Raiders arriving, and that top lane fort in particular might be in some trouble. We have seen 2 kills so far, and both were for the red team. Damage output here, 7,000 for Vala, not really great, but at the other hand, as long as they get the kills, who cares? So not only do they get now Stukov, but they also eliminate the fort at the top lane. And this is starting to become a little bit difficult for the blue team. They're also going to fall behind by level 10. Now, that push is actually pretty smart. They're not going for the forts here. They know that they still have a numbers advantage, and they're at least trying to break through that wall, because most of the other lanes have already been defended. Li Ming and Sonya have done a decent job here. So now the wall top side is open. The lead in experience, roughly half a level. They have level 10 abilities with it. So it's not the most crazy lead just yet, but it's a really good step into the right direction. And we'll see how far they can go with this. Camp is being taken. Vala with 38 stacks, so she's still 12 short to get the first quest reward on level 1. And we have aggressive picks from Fischer's Fritz on level 10, with Leap now claimed by Sonya. So, Stormbolt into a Leap stun and then unleashing the full combo is definitely a potential play for them. They have to get the team together for it though. And we'll see if they can. Muradin also with Avatar here, as you would have expected. And we get the massive shove from Stukov. So, it's going to get interesting here. Red team still pushing. Still looking for opportunities to get farther ahead and push the advantage further. Might be able to pull something off here. In the middle, they are already trying to leverage Vala with her auto attacks against this. Pedro. I mean, Muradin is always sniffing around the edges and looking for a Stormbolt that he can set up to make this a bit easier for his damage dealers. They're coming in quickly though. And with Sonya starting to engage and using Leap, she quickly becomes the target and has to dive out. They're still trying, and, well, they get nice damage in on Li Ming as well. Not able to get a full kill, but still, this is starting to get a bit dicey, because Fischer's Fritz have lost their first fort at the top, and, oh, maybe now. They get Stukov, and Brightwing is gone, and so is Varian. Alright, now we're talking. This is exactly what they needed. Took them a while to set the fight up properly. Honestly, looked initially like this would backfire against them. But they didn't lose anybody as the red team was pushing, and then they had the chance to go straight forward. In full vision, they make their play for the boss at the top. Red team definitely is aware, or should be aware, what's going on. If they have the minimap DLC installed, then they saw them for sure. So that boss is going to be claimed. As Vala, if I'm claiming things, is going for the camp here. We need to defend at the top, and that's just a question of what exactly is the blue team going to do. Are they trying a double boss play, moving down to the bottom of the map, or are they trying to push with the boss? And it seems like, yeah, they're going to slowly rotate down to the bot lane. Experience is nearly identical for the two teams now. With that, we have the quick attack happening here. Yeah, one auto attack after another. Down at the bottom of the map. Not going for the second boss. Instead, just going for their own camp. Maybe the objective too. Sonya is currently sitting tight here. Muradin is closing the gap a bit quicker and gets the lead. So while the red team has still been defending, they went for the objective instead. I guess they could have just made this a little bit faster, but generally speaking, they now have the pressure on. But they're immediately retreating again. So, I'm honestly not quite sure how much I like this. I think they could have gotten more out of the boss. Either go and rotate faster to the second boss and claim it as well, or go for the objective or push. And now, it's just getting melted. Oh, that poor dwarf. Sits there, gets taunted, and then is just absolutely wrecked. And he's not the only one. Stukov dies too, so that's 2 eliminated. And the red team is coming in with that big click energy and is looking for, the second objective. 70 stacks for Vala. Is now still defending over here and needs mana. Yeah, definitely. He's tapping the fountain for exactly that reason. Li Ming currently looking for angles where she can get some shots in. Nice! That was a great move by Chromie. Beautiful! Blocking out the damage from Li Ming, or this could have been a kill. Instead, Greymane falls. But Li Ming with a really nice angle. Chromie was waiting for it though. If not for that, this might have been a kill and a reset. So that was nicely done. That was really well done by her. So with that, the second objective has now been locked in. Good for the red team. Not for a lack of trying by the blue team to try and bring that fight back. By now we have the push through the bottom of the map that they're focusing on the most. Sonya sitting at the top. Dehaka still pressuring through the middle. But they want another fort. And have also a chance, of course, to go to the second boss depending on how this fight plays out for them. Top damage in the game, Li Ming. Sonya, second place with 21,000. Vala with nearly the same damage, and now that they're breaking through that wall here, there's the taunt attempt! And the big shove against Varian as he's trying to re-engage. And that taunt is still valid, obviously. They could go for Muradin here. Varian hasn't made a move yet, and they're actually retreating. So it's Dehaka in the mid lane that was able to get them a fort, and they're even working that wall down. Dehaka coming in. Yeah, eats the Stormbolt. Now they can make a move here. They're looking for Li Ming. They're looking for Greymane. And what a rain of vengeance from Vala. They are following it up with kills on Greymane and Muradin. Both of them gone. And that is another fort for Big Click Energy. That's big. That is pretty big what they've just done here. They get a boss for free at the bottom of the map now. With 2 heroes dead on the blue team side. And this is now 3 forts gone. That's a huge increase in passive experience gains. They already have a level 16 talent advantage. And with the boss, they could push for that bottom keep. Maybe not take it out, but they could do some damage here. Chromie isn't with them. Dehaka is still at the top, so I don't think they're going to push too aggressively here. But to be honest with you, I think they should at least push this a bit. But they're splitting out onto the lanes. They want to maintain the experience advantage. They have the Dehaka at the top. Next objective is obviously something they're going to wait for too. There's a camp up on the map that they're claiming. Vala, by the way, has not died yet. So even though they're playing with 2 damage dealers and they kind of factored in that she might fall a few times, she has not died even once. So good for her damage output with Manticore now. Even if you don't get too many stacks on your level 1, as long as you have Manticore and the auto attack advantage, you're in a pretty good spot to melt tanks like Muradin away. And that's exactly what we're going to be seeing from her throughout the game. She's currently the top damage dealer for the red team. Should probably not go too deep here. And is able to disengage together with Dehaka. They went pretty well for this one. But the objective is now being announced. 1.5 level lead, roughly, for the red team. And let's see how far they can go with this now. Obviously on Alderac Pass you want to take quite a few of those keeps out before you go for the core. With more hit points, more health now. And Stuko! Dehaka with a big play. In comes Sonya! And Brightwing goes down, but so does Muradin. So it's still a numbers advantage for Big Click Energy. They're trying for Smokey. Vala is maintaining the hatred. Comes in and gets turned upon and dies. First death of Vala, but she kills Sonya. And it looks like they're going to get Greymane as a result. 2, maybe not. They're diving a little bit too deep. And Li Ming is saying like, hey guys, if you think that you're going to get this one for free, then I'm going to murder all of you. So please don't kill me. Has not given up on the Varian kill yet. Greymane is defending the mid lane. Varian is still playing this out. Li Ming has still not given up. And girl, you are having some trouble now. Because they're attempting to gank up on you. Please don't kill me is a one-man army at this point. And now that he finally has a bit of backup, they can go for Varian and get the kill here. Yeah, the red team played this out for too long. Somebody has to channel. And Greymane does. Chromie is dead too. So, kudos. Round of applause here for Li Ming. On knife's edge for a long time, but she made it happen. So, now it's the blue team that is trying for the objective. And could at least theoretically start a bit of a comeback here. They're still trailing, obviously, when we're talking about their general experience, about the kills. but they've started to catch up a bit. So, yeah. We'll see how much further they can go here. Fight is obviously not over yet. Everybody is still trying to... Uh-oh, Vala! Brightwing! I don't understand why they're going in here. This is one of the general plays that just don't understand on this level. But this happens way too often where a team is 2 heroes down and then they somehow think they need to stick around and, you know, just poke the opponent down a little bit, make the big play, they lose another hero. It's staggered death after staggered death. Now everybody is back, but Vala is gone. They lose also the additional attack speed on her, so that's the second death on her side. Again, not a disaster considering the comp that they're playing, but it's still a pretty bad move because now they're missing Vala for the initial defense. And this just makes this so much more awkward. Just cut your losses at some point, regroup, and then re-engage into the battle. So, Fischer's Fritz, they are having a foothold in the game all of a sudden. There's a level 20 advantage for big click energy, which of course gives them a big lead. They're immediately trying to use it here. Brightwing barely makes it out. And Dehaka, yeah, is about to get killed. Sonya, totally unimpressed, by the way. This is a 4 versus 4. Sonya's sitting at the top and is just trying to take structures down. I have no idea how Dehaka survived, by the way, but he somehow made it. Sonya is pushing, so Smokey has successfully taken down one structure. Over in the middle, the 4v4 went the way of the blue team as well. So 2 forts gone, and at the bottom of the map, they have a serious chance of grabbing this one too. So, yep, not too bad. That's quite the comeback that they were able to execute here. So, really well done. And now the big question is obviously, what's going to happen now? 20 versus 20. Each team still with their keeps. Ooh, and we got the upgrade. Look at that. The roulette for Greymane. Okay, so it's bullet time, baby. We're gonna get lots and lots of bullets over here. Roulette play from Greymane and the play at the boss. Each team is gonna get one. Down at the bottom of the map, the blue team is moving in. They obviously have seen what's coming here, so they're just going for the boss themselves and take this one quickly. Vala has decided to go into Acrobat, not going into the Farflight Quiver on this one. Acrobat instead. Seen quite a bit of that. Obviously also. Really nice input on the damage numbers. But now it seems like they're just going to try and defend here as best as they can. So off we go. 7 kills to 11. Yeah, push at the top still coming. They're trying to take down Smokey. Careful. Yeah. But they got the wall open now. And they have to defend against that boss first. The blue team is not willing to push with it. They're most likely going to fall back and just defend their own bot lane. So the two bosses are not really doing a whole lot of damage here for either team. In addition to this, by the way, with the level 20 talents, we not only have the roulette, but we also got the upgrade for Sonya. We've seen this a few times now, but they're going for that again. No Chen here for a full washing machine. But, yeah. Funnily enough, the bottom keep is actually taking more damage because they were later to the party. But the objective is back up again, and this is where we're now having a full-fledged fight between the two teams on eye level. Each team with level 20 talents. Vala at 121 stacks. Top damage in the game is Li Ming. Doesn't come as a shock after the last few fights that we've now seen. With the resets that she got. And talking resets, Dehaka gets murdered. There's a big crater against 2. And that's Brightwing gone. And bye-bye, Vala. Fischer's Fritz fished a lot of Fischer. So, that's 3 down. And they are going for Chromie. And she's also eliminated. She's gone. That's an easy keep in the middle, and they might be able to go for a double keep here. I'm not quite sure if they're willing to try and risk core with only 1 armor shield gone, but that was massive what they just did. That crater, by the way, mad value from Smokey. That was one of the most impactful crater plays I have seen in a long time, so it was crazy. First they just melted the Haka, and then they went in and took the crater out. So they go for the boss directly, they go for the core, trying to take this one out with only Varian defending. There's very little that he can do, and that is it. That's game. The blue team turned it around. They turned it around and they take the lead in the best of 3 series here in the losers bracket of the tournament. Nicely done, well-deserved victory. GG and well played. We're going to head straight into game number 2, but before we do, once again guys, if you enjoy the coverage on the channel here, if you enjoy the match, please like and subscribe. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. It also helps to boost the game to an even wider audience. And of course, it helps to get people back into Heroes of the Storm, as the algorithm recommends the videos to people that were interested in Heroes of the Storm in the past. So again, before we continue, if you haven't done it yet, subscribe to the channel and like the video. Appreciate it. And with that, we're heading straight into the second map of the series. Dragonshire, map number 2. So, blue team is ahead. Nice little leap by Sonya towards the end. That was probably the most value I had out of a crater in a long time in these games. Now, the 10 heroes that were played on the last map cannot be played again as we're heading into Dragonshire. Map was chosen by the blue team. I think Big Click Energy is quite happy about the fact that Li Ming can't be played again, because damn, Li Ming went on a bit of a killing spree there and absolutely ran rampage. So now Garrosh banned out. This is, by the way, the map where Smokey played Murky the last time. Just saying. I'm not saying we're going to get Murky again. I'm just noting that this is the map where they played it the last time. Like, I don't know, if you want to go for Murky, I actually don't mind that at all. If you're going for some kind of triple frontline, it would be funny, of course, with something along the lines of Phoenix, anything where you can really capitalize on a good Octograb. I don't know, I mean, could you these days, with that side lane pressure, also get mad value out of Murlocs? I mean, I don't know. Either way. Sylvanas gets banned, Hogga is banned out as well. It's just kind of funny that you have in the amateur scene, obviously, a lot of preferences that these guys have. Usually, people don't have that massive hero pool here, which also means that they are more vulnerable to heroes being banned out through the draft restriction as the series continues, because they just don't have a massive hero pool that they can always rely upon. So at some point, they're going to run into trouble and will have to play heroes much more faster that are out of the meta than top-level players that have a huge amount of depth to their pool. Jojo as a first pick. Game number 2 obviously not going to matter too much, but the real craziness is coming with Meta Madness as our next tournament, so that's already a bit of a promise there. Diablo and Hanzo. Also, a side note for everybody that's watching this on YouTube, as I promised before, we have YouTube memberships back up. They disappeared for a while. I don't really know why. I think YouTube changed something. I didn't notice it in time. Had to do something and they deactivated. But YouTube memberships are back, and every single YouTube membership is also going to contribute to more heroes being banned for Meta Madness. So banned for the entire tournament. So again, this is just for the YouTube audience out there. Some people have already taken advantage of this. So if you were thinking about supporting the YouTube channels through those memberships, then you can hit that join button underneath the video, and all of those then get counted in towards banning more heroes for Meta Madness, as we usually do on the Twitch stream. Jojo plus Blaze. It's a pretty good comp there too. So, and Draga. So you're already finding yourself with some pretty nice heroes for game number 2. Wasn't Rhaegar played? Am I crazy? What were the supports on the last map? Brightwing and Stukov. Okay, there we go. Too many games today. So, too many games, generally just like blending into each other. But, yeah. So, Ophia gets banned out. Leo gets banned too. I mean, with Diablo, after I've seen earlier the Diablo and Tassadar comp being used to just such a fantastic extent, I just want to see it again. It's not a new combo by any means, but I have to admit that the teams earlier, Naki Veen, I believe it was, has done such a great job with teeing Diablo's wall stuns up with one fence after another. Now we get Jimmy though. Okay, Hanzo and Jimmy plus Deckard Cain. That leaves us with the Murky fan as the final pick. But we get a Reyna, potentially even with an auto attack style again. Jimmy is always a little bit of a liability. I mean, again, it's all about positioning here. But there's not too many heroes that can dive him hard. So as long as he doesn't sit at the front and gets flanked or stunned out by Blaze and Jojo, he should be fine. Last pick Jaina, so we have some burst damage. Yeah, stay away from those stuns and you're still going to be okay. What is Smokey going to pick though? He's up against Blaze, of course. Diablo Murky wouldn't really be the best combo here, so I assume that we're going to get a proper side laner this time for the blue team. After the Sonya pick earlier, which worked out quite nicely, I have to admit, for Smokey. This is now the chance for them. They go for it again. It's another Murky pick. They go for the frog, baby. Alright, boys, let's go. Game number 2. We got Fischer's Fritz against Big Click Energy. Match point for Fischer's Fritz. Over on the left. It's Murky. A fishy deal for Smokey. So here it is. Smokey with Murky. Jolly fella on Reyna. We get Ace in the hole over here as our level 1 choice. Pedro on Diablo. Mixin on Deckard Cain. And then Please Don't Kill Me this time on Hanzo. As over on the right side we got G-Fog on Blaze. Fireborn on Johanna. Lekka Hapia is playing Cassia. We got Oblivion on Rhaegar. And Midna on Jaina. So, well, let's see what we're going to get here. We have right now the chance for the blue team to make this a 2-0 and move on to the next round of the losers bracket. And again, we're getting closer and closer to the grand final on this. Down at the bottom of the map, yeah, well, a little bit of shark surfing over here from Jaina. No big fight in the middle. The frog going up against Blaze now. I really want Murky to work for them. On the one hand, I want game number 3. On the other hand, it would be amazing to just see a bit of Murky energy and him really getting to a point where, you know, he can run the show for the team. With a fishy deal, he is going to try and just steal some of their camps away. I mean, that's a given. With a 30-second spawn that we're getting, the teams are making immediate moves for the Siege Giants. Both of them, and Murky plus Blaze, are just rotating between the lanes right now. So, Smokey on his way to the top, and it's all about the pufferfish at this point, and a little bit of slime. Now, is that going to be the play for them in the long run? We'll see. I still expect that we're going to get, as his level 10, the good old Octograb. I don't know. I don't really think that you can make too much of a play out of going into the Murlocs here. I mean, maybe. We'll see. But for now, a couple of slows, and Jimmy is taking advantage of that very quickly against both Jaina and Jojo. Now, there's the blind, obviously, from Johanna that can limit his damage output a bit in a situation like this. But Jolly Fella is going to try and work that damage. And so far, he can be doing okay here. Murky is dead. No worries. He's going to Murk again in a second. Has his egg in the middle, actually. Not at the top. But down here, the blue team has also started to lose quite a few hit points. The problem with Jimmy is always positioning. Jimmy can get an enormous amount of damage out. I mean, he really can. The problem is just simply that you don't have a lot of mobility and a lot of tools to really keep you alive. You have your passive, of course. You have a couple of things that you can use, but it's not the same as having a proper escape like Vala with a vault, for example. So you just need to be very careful with this. Midna gets a freebie on the Dragonite. The blue team was trying to reclaim the temple down at the bottom of the map, or the shrine, and wasn't able to do it. So now we have insta damage over here in the middle. Bad positioning here, by the way. If you're going for the DK, just position yourself a bit to the side so that both of the towers are able to take you down. That's just a waste of hit points. Generally speaking, with the first Dragonite, your priority is on getting the Dragon's Breath out as much as you can anyways. Auto attacks always help a bit, but still, you shouldn't really go too overboard in your attempt there. So, a little bit more Dragonite damage down at the bottom of the map, but the same problem. Gets targeted by literally everything. And that Dragonite did very little to nothing. Is still alive for a few more seconds, so should use another Dragon's Breath. But I guess Jaina's also a bit worried of getting dropped out right in the middle of the opponent's team. So, yeah, I'm not going to do too much here. Could have done more with the Dragonite. Early game Dragonites don't really have that big of an impact anyways. Simply because, again, didn't scale too well into the mid and late game. So later on, this thing is going to hit like a truck. Murky, talking about being hit, is getting farmed slightly. And this is actually starting to become a bit of a problem, because with now Cassia committing to the push in the middle, that means that the blue team is missing out on experience and losing some ground here. They need to rotate somebody to match Cassia's aggression in the mid lane, or they're going to have a problem. They're already falling behind by roughly half a level. So, yeah. Top side, Murky again, stunned and killed. Smokey is starting to grieve a little bit over here. Tougher Fish is in, but he's dying a little bit too much right now. With Murky, it's not that big of a deal, but that doesn't mean that he can just simply get annihilated on every single lane. Helps him with the rotation towards the middle, I suppose. But they're losing too much ground at the top. So, yeah. You can already see it on the experience gains. They're 1,000 XP behind on minion experience. And that's a problem. So, yeah. Over on the left side, another camp gets taken, and they need that for the defense at the top too. So Smoke is going to try and just lock this down as long as he can, so that the minions and the mercenary camp comes in. But Murky dies again, and this is just a few too many deaths. Murky with 5 deaths already. So, starting to get a bit iffy. And it obviously has, just as a bit of a side note, if you look at the hero experience, it's not like it has no impact. That's still 600 additional experience that the red team has because Murky died. So that is a problem. And that's very early in the game. So 1 level advantage right now for big click energy. And they're also taking down some of the hit points at the top fort. So Murky needs to give the team some control. By the way, Blaze... hello? Blaze? What? Did he go AFK? Like, what happened there? He literally just sat underneath the fort and was like, yeah, I'm fine here. This is fine. And, well, it wasn't. Spoiler alert. So, Blaze just commits honorable Sudoku at the top lane. I mean, the only excuse that you have is that you have a cat that attacked your leg or something. I mean, that is the only excuse that you have there. You got a cat or a dog and it started to attack your leg and you got distracted. I let no other excuse slide here. Blaze just went brain AFK for a moment. So, yeah, that's one way. We got Octograb right now. Hyperion, Octograb into Apocalypse. The dream right there. So, yeah, that was, yeah, unexpected. G-Fog had a little bit of brain fog, if you ask me. Blue team still pushing at the bottom of the map. They threatened the objective for just a second. But with now 2 heroes going for the side lane rotation, we have a numbers advantage for the blue team down at the bottom. Ape! Oh! The dream! They're womboing! Look at that! And it does nothing. They even lose the fight. It's a number... They lose 3 heroes. Oh my god, they lose the entire team at the bottom of the map. No. Look at this. The wombo, then the arrow from Hanzo, and then Jaina gets the heal and just kills all of them. Oh, the bronzy plays. I love it. I absolutely love it. So, yep. The thought was there, they had the numbers advantage, and then they just got absolutely murdered. That's the beauty of casting some of the amateur games, guys. Right there. Yeah, that Hyperion, absolutely needed. Jolly fella came in and was like, I'm gonna drop my ult, boys. And everybody's like, no, we got it, we got it. It's like, no, I want my ult. So yeah, look at this. They didn't even get it... And now they got a Dragonite. How did that happen? Like, you just killed Cassia. How did Blaze just get the Dragonite? What? Are you joking? Cassia was killed. That was the end of the threat. And apparently Blaze just walked in and channeled it. And then the Dragonite is totally useless. Okay, the sequence here is incredible. So first of all, blue team, big wombo at the bottom of the map. We got this. Lose every single hero that they have, only kill one. Red team is like, boys, we got the map control. Let's go for the objective. They try for the objective, they fail to get it. The blue team kills Cassia and avoids the Dragonite. Then brain farts and just lets Blaze take the Dragonite anyways, even though they are in the middle. even though they are 5 versus 4, and they don't need to. And then the red team claims the Dragonite and doesn't do anything with it. Oh my god, I love this. Oh, this is awesome. This is what I signed up for when I cast it. When I said like we're hosting this. This is exactly what I signed up for. Love it. So Murky gets attacked again. At this point, I mean, again, you never know what's happening here. 23,000 damage for Jaina, 24,000 for Hanzo. The attack's still coming over here. Blaze is all alone at the top lane. Murky wants an Octo Grab though. Gets the Octo. And the arrow into the Apocalypse. They pressed. They're finally getting kills. Alright, now it's Wombo time. Now we're talking. Murky is the only one that dies, and Blaze gets the topside fort, obviously, but they still get the better trade down at the bottom of the map, as long as they get this fort. Jojo with a completed quest, good for her, but look at this. The Octograb did nothing, but the stuns and the APOC and everything afterwards just helps them to destroy the entire team here. So it's a beautiful triple kill. Big plays, and that allows them now with 6 kills to 5 to take a fort out too. Alright. And you know what? It was so beautiful. We're gonna go for it again. That one was nicely done. I mean, full on Hanzo arrow into APOC and the play around. Now they can try and maybe get the objective as they're moving towards the top. They don't have a big time window. Jojo is not going towards the bottom. Ooh, Murky! He doesn't get it. He went for the fishy deal here and then missed out on grabbing this one. Double control now. Not for long though. The red team is immediately moving over and starting to take the objective again. Level 16 is now the next talent here to be dropped. By the way. Ooh, okay. They want the kill. And there's the damage. Hanzo with the kill on Cassia. It's actually kind of funny that Diablo pushes the Octograb around. If you ask me, he should just stop right there where it is. It just feels weird that Octograb itself gets moved. This is a bit wild. They have the APOC play, and Hyperion, and all of a sudden the combos are working. Look at that. Jojo wants Pedro, can't quite get the kill, and Johanna went too deep. So, now we're talking 9 kills to 5, and Fischer's Fritz with some sweet kills. Blaze apparently has a bit of a death wish, is getting completely surrounded over here, and is gonna get murdered. So Blaze is now gone too. Not quite sure what the thought process here was. He was in the bush, he could have just moved out towards the wall, didn't. And now with Murky channeling at the bottom of the map, it seems like we're gonna get a Dragonite for the blue team. It's gonna be their first one. Diablo is on the job. They have a 1 level advantage now, and it's party time. With Murky, we now have Fish Oil on level 16. We got the Rallying Cry for Jimmy, and they're already going deep on that fort, so they want to take the second one out, and obviously by now we're 12 minutes in, so these things are starting to hurt a little bit more. So this is definitely doing some damage. Yeah, bit of a punt here against Cassia. Next Dragon's Breath, taking this out. And still walking way too hard into those 2 towers. But they're trying to get some work done at the bottom of the map. At least open that wall up, and they should. So already moving for that. And yeah, the gate likely going to fall here. They got a catapult already doing a bit of damage. Side wall has already been eliminated. And now they're trying to exert even more control with the Haka. Diablo though went too deep and gets killed. So, and the rest of the team thought it was a great idea to die with him. That's solidarity right here. This is team solidarity that you don't see all the time anymore. So Diablo died and committed Sudoku. And after he went for the Honorable Subaru, the rest of the team just said, you know what, boys? How about we die with him? Look at this. They actually walked back into the fight. They like at that point, just let him die. He even had his soul stacks up. There was absolutely no reason to try and save him. It was obvious that he would fall, and yeah. So they lose Deckard Cain and they lose Jim Raynor. But that's friendship. That's friendship right there. They wanted to make him feel better. They're like, guys, if we let Diablo die here, he's gonna feel bad about, you know, inting. What if we also let ourselves get killed? Then he is not alone. and it makes more sense. So now we have level 19 for both of the teams. Diablo, by the way, thought that dying once is not enough, so he wanted to go for the double. Comes in, gets hit by the Blessed Shield, and is now dead too. And that starts to equalize things. So it's a little bit of a... I mean, honestly, I think this is fan service what we're seeing right now. Fischer's Fritz just thought, guys, how about we don't make this just a clear game? Another arrow. The Murky engage. It's a bit of a show, you know, for the audience. They're going to make this fun for the fans, and I absolutely appreciate that. 11 kills against 10, 20 in total at the 14-minute mark. Level 20 is ready. That gives us also and a Shark too. So increasing the Octograb damage over here with, unfortunately, Jimmy not upgrading, but going into the Raider's role. So the 20 is now available for Big Click Energy too, which gives us no surprises here. At least I don't really think so. Nah. But what do we have in regards to damage? 42,000 for Hanzo. Jimmy is at 36,000, and Murky is actually working a bit of damage in as well with the 24k that he brings to the table. Somebody should deal with the top lane, and I think it's going to be the Frog that does it. Shrines are back up again. Jaina. It's a trap. Not falling for it though. 38,000 damage for Jaina. 28,000 for Cassia. But it's a close one. So, are we going to go game 3, or is this going to be the end for Big Click Energy? That's the question right now. Murky alone at the top lane, gets control, can maintain this for a bit longer. They're trying to get the Dragonite. Blessed Shield is out, and Diablo with the ult, but Hanzo is already dead, and Diablo dies a moment later. No soul stacks for him. The red team now on the hunt. They want Deckard Cain. Cassia's coming in here. Mixon's going to be able to walk away from this, but with 2 heroes dead, this is likely going to be an objective for Big Click Energy. Yeah, they're making the plays right now. Jaina likely going to be the one. Murky with Interrupt. Going to try and delay this. Gets an Octograb. Hit him with a Shark. Hit him with a Shark. And can't get the kill. It would have been nice. Imagine Jaina dying to Murky here. Imagine Murky getting the kill. That would have been the hero, but unfortunately for him, not the case. Murky with 13,000 hero damage, by the way. I think I read earlier the number of Diablo by accident. So, by now, we have the keep in the middle getting attacked. This might be the first one to fall. Red team is now heavily ahead on structures after they destroyed all the forts and are now going for the mid lane keep. Diablo is back in a second. Jimmy just goes brr, 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 as he's trying to take the Dragonite out with limited success, I might add. So they don't have a lot against this. They need a bit more Hanzo time on this. Okay. Keep is gone. And Jaina is trying to hightail it out of there. 160,000 siege damage for Murky, by the way. So at this point, Murky is dead again. Had the Octograb more or less available. But it's going a bit too hard for my liking. You can't commit Honorable Subaru with every single play that you make. Smokey, with the egg over here in the middle, can still set this up. Jaina. Okay. Yeah, Jaina is here. The problem is, where's the rest of the team? You can't dive too hard for this. Look how Smokey is looking for targets here. He's so hyper-aggressive around this, and now he's missing. They go for the APOC, arrow into the back line, Deckard Cain with the ult, and Cassia dies before the Ancestral Healing connects. But they're all getting put into a corner again by Jojo, and then Jaina comes in with a big damage. Murky, too late to the party, could still get the kill here. The Ancestral is out, Murky gets killed again, and now they're aiming for Jimmy, and unless he has a great penetrating round here, he will fall. Gets rooted and eliminated. 12 kills to 16. They're just too greedy for that kill. The blue team has honestly some nice combos, but they're just greeding too hard. Murky is coming in too aggressively, gets killed as a result, is dead. The team engages with 4, gets a good Diablo comp off, but they're fighting 4 versus 5 after all, and then they're getting eliminated here. So now Murky is back and can slow down Jaina a little bit with an ult, or maybe even go for Rhaegar here. Rhaegar is going to die. Rhaegar is now going to die. Gets sharked by Murky, and this might actually save the day for them. Yeah, Hanzo once killed, gets one. The Murky Hanzo dream combo right there, and they're not done yet. They're not done yet. They're still sharking around here. Murky The arrow! Hit him hard! And there's the kill. And he also stole the camp earlier. Oh my god. This game is amazing. This game is absolutely amazing. If Fischer's Fritz stops greeting, they actually have a shot at turning this around. So, Murky, he's the nightmare of big click energy. Yes! Give him the Dragonite! Smokey is on the mission. 15 kills to 16, 31 in total, and we got the 20-minute Dragonite right now. Oh, this second game was amazing from start to finish, and we're not even done yet. So, how... Like, honestly, at this point, it's just a question of how they can throw now. Here comes Hyperion. Alright, they want that keep. They're gonna get the keep. The keep is given. They're gonna get the keep 100%. So, what is the blue team now gonna do here? Keep is gone. What's the next play? It's a 5 versus 5 now. They don't know. They don't know either. Murky's just sitting there and he's like, let's go, boys. And everybody else is like, yeah, we don't really want to. So, Murky is just getting some damage out. And then Smokey is trying to annoy them a little bit. But at the end of the day, this is going to be the end for him here. So, they got to keep. 20-minute Dragonite, they got to keep. This top lane fort, by the way, is still standing. Whose job was this? It was Murky's job. So, big F. Big fail. Yeah, he definitely didn't. And now they have to give the camp up. But you gotta give it to them. Instead of inting for the camp, they just give it up. This could have been worse. Let's just be honest here. This could have been worse. Also... Is he gonna die now? Okay, I think he has this. You can do it. I believe. Maybe you can't do it. I'm not so sure anymore. Alright, Murky takes the camp. Murky is able to take the camp. Coming to the damage output, we have 70,000 for Hanzo. Top damage in the game, easy. Murky is now at 30,000, so Murky is starting to catch up a little bit with all of those Octo Sharks that he's getting out here. We have 55,000 for Jimmy. Jaina on 57,000, but she's the one that has been bursting them all day, every day. Yeah, we want Murky again, but he's still alive. He's making it. He's getting out there. 31 kills, guys. 31 in total. So, next objective is coming up, and everybody is just setting up for the next fight, trying to make this work. Jimmy, yeah. By the way, Blaze and Murky nearly on the same amount of siege damage here. Murky with a bit more than 200,000. But they still need to maintain control over the top lane. This is going to be one of the big problems with the catapults scaling hard into the late game now, of course. Bot lane control. Shrine's about to be taken. There's a good chance that the next Dragonite is going to end the game. There's a pretty solid chance of that happening. And each team is going to have a Shrine. Diablo, by the way, is not stacked. Diablo is not fully stacked on his level 1, on his baseline, which is obviously a problem. So that's... Oh. Yeah, one fight... I mean, typically I would say like the next fight is going to decide the game, but let's face it. Both of the teams haven't really... both of the teams had some problems ending, so I wouldn't bet on this not happening again. Yeah, Murky is defending against the camp as best as he can. Should definitely deal with the catapult here. Wants to get the top side control though. Team is just waiting in the middle. Yeah, Pedro also always sitting in the bush. So they're taking over top. Making sure that there's no double control on the shrines for now. So they can easily defend at the top and have a chance to maybe break through that wall. They need to get some damage done. I mean, at some point they have to take that fort out or the catapults are going to wreck that top cape. That's just what's going to happen. And everybody now sitting in the middle. Murky saying hi. And again, they can't die instantly. They need him in these fights. Murky can't just YOLO in the entire time. That Octo Grab, if you hit that Octo Grab right, you can do work. So, they gotta be aware of this. Pufferfish is getting taken down again. They see they got Kane. Not much more than that. And the red team is slowly pushing in on this. Yeah, and Murky again. Murky might fall here, and does. Wait for the blue team to engage. Okay, this time they moved away. I mean, to be honest, if history has anything to say about it, then I expected them to hard engage here. But they're not getting back quickly enough from the looks of it. Diablo's getting attacked. They got Kane. Good control from him. And Murky is now being annoying at the bottom of the map. Yeah, Murky is just taking the next shrine. He's just like, I got this, boys. I got your back, Jack. Moves towards the middle. Epoch. Okay, that didn't do anything. Hype here. Oh. Oh. They YOLO'd all their ults and they did nothing. Murky to the rescue. Maybe the Ancestral is instantly there and Jaina is still dead. Jaina is still dead. Hanzo. Here comes the ult from Deckard Kane and they get the double kill. What on earth? They're making it happen. Murky, the hero. He went for Jaina and he eliminated her. Now the damage is gone from big click energy. They needed the big click and they only found the small click. Now we have G-Fog in trouble. Diablo is down, but he was stacked at this point. They still lose everyone else. Oh, the bot lane is also under pressure. There's a keep coming, there's a push coming in. But yeah, check this one out. They lost every ult, and then all of a sudden it was Murky to the rescue with a big play. The core is losing hit points, by the way. Catapults are on the core, and the core is losing HP. We have Blaze trying to go for it. The rest of the team is retreating. Murky trying to be a pain. And the rest of the blue team on their way towards another Dragonite. Deckard Kane, the healer in the Dragonite. Alright. Healer in the Dragonite as they're trying to go for it. Murky's on the run. The core is down to 68%. And it is carnage. It is absolute carnage over here. Big click energy. They are back with 5. Jimmy is still dead. I don't think they can end. I think they're going to YOLO towards the core and they're going to lose it there unless some heroes are dying right now. Nice combo from Diablo. That might be it. Diablo comes in. Murky is dead again. And Jaina is down. Rhaegar was too stingy on the ult. And Jaina is gone. So is Diablo. But the core gets attacked. And this is all she wrote. A 2-0 victory for Fischer's Fritz, I think. And yes, it is. As Big Click Energy gets eliminated from the tournament and the blue team moves on to the next round. GG.